The owners definitely wanted a contemporary house. The house that stood here was very typical of the neighborhood. They hired an architect who came up with this floor plan. It's a very narrow lot, so there were a lot of considerations with getting everything that they wanted out of the house within the lot size. So we worked very much in tune with the architect and the builder to come up with the design they wanted for the interior. The kitchen and family room was the most important space in the house for the clients. They really wanted something that was going to be usable, where their family could gather. We suggested quite a few of our favorite materials. The client was very involved in decisions in terms of color. The first thing that we chose was the walnut, just to add the warmth to the kitchen. If you notice in the house, there's really no white. Everything is a muted off-white. And that was very much a part of the kind of serene warmth that we wanted in the house. All of the cabinets are painted a very neutral color. And then the countertops are Corian, and they're also a very muted cameo white. I personally love Corian. It's warm to the touch, so when you're standing in the kitchen, Corian will actually be the temperature of the room, unlike natural stone or quartz, which is generally cold. It's also completely antibacterial, so it's not porous, cleans well, it's repairable, so there's lots of benefits to it. We added a window to the left of the stove elevation. I don't love corners in kitchens, and I always find they're not usable, and we didn't have a lot of tall space for pantry, so instead we broke it up, having a window just to add some more light in. The warm brass touches were really something that the wife and I loved and wanted to add, and the husband was very reluctant, but we really felt that the mixing of the materials worked well in the space. When you come into this kitchen, really the first thing you see is the back of the island, so having the stools really adds a little bit of detail to the kitchen. We also added the black lights over the island. They also have a hit of brass on the inside, and that repeats the hardware in the kitchen. I think the husband has finally come around to liking the brass once everything was put in place, but I think it was a hard thing to visualize that mixing of metals until you kind of live with it. The family room is where they spend the majority of their time. We did a fireplace that has a heat dump so the television can go right above it. So essentially fireplaces used to generate all their heat off the face of them. This is a cool touch, so you could literally, when it's on, touch the face of the fireplace and the heat comes into the room. It just comes in up above. We looked at a lot of different stones for the fireplace surround. We found this great stone from laminum, and it has a lovely kind of hit of a lighter veining through it without it being too prominent in the room. The little wet bar came into play mainly because we had an HVAC issue, and we were saying, what's this corner going to become? And because there's a powder room right next door, we thought we have plumbing, let's get a little wet bar, and it just filled the corner in nicely. There are roller blinds that are automated and come down, and they're actually black, which works really nicely at night. It adds some warmth, and it's another kind of architectural detail in the space as opposed to having a white void on the wall. It's actually a very clever plan because the powder room is on the main floor, but it's tucked away, which is lovely. The client and I found this fantastic tile with, again, that hit of brass in the mosaic. The wallpaper that we used is a vinyl wallpaper from Elitis, and it has like a very slim sort of hit of gold in it as well. The clients really wanted a kind of hotel feeling with the master bedroom, and again, keeping in the color palette in the house, it's very soft and gray beige. It's not really gray, it's not really beige, it lives in that place in between. We looked at doing a neutral wallpaper behind the headboard just to add a little bit of luxury, and again, that color of paper is repeated in the artwork that we selected for across from the bed. The master bath is really lovely. We selected an oversized porcelain tile. It was literally 72 inches long, and so the tiles in the shower are the width of the shower. And they wanted a bathtub, so there's a modern freestanding bathtub. And as well, we've used Corian for the countertops and the niches, and that just again adds to the softness of the space. In the daughter's bedroom, we kept it very simple. We found a wonderful stick-on mural on Amazon, and it just adds some life to the space. It's pretty, but it's not a commitment. If she gets tired of it, we just literally unpeel it. I have to say the builder who built this house, he says this is the favorite house he's ever built. I still love it when I walk in. I love the height of the ceilings and the open staircase, and I think this room in the back is just so warm, and I think it's a contemporary space, but it still has a nice sense of coziness, and especially on a cold day like today.